Alright, hello everyone. We are actually back for real. Say hello, my players, now that they can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Alright. Uh, Welcome everyone to UDA, University for Destined Adventures. As I said before, this will be a wonderful little homebrew adventure going through the set in the wonderful world of Eberron, mainly in the city of Sharn, in the homebrew setting of the University for Destined Adventurers, which is a little magical college. As you can see, the pictures on screens are the four characters. We have, well, I will let them introduce themselves in time, but above that you will see CNC comforting cantrips for Ukraine, along with doing this wonderful little bit of streaming that is just a bunch of fun for all of us. We also are doing a fundraiser for Ukraine. If you're watching on Twitch, there will be a little uh, just a little extension widget that you can click on that'll take you directly to the campaign. If you're watching on YouTube after, we'll have a link down in the description below. So if you can, please spare some money for the wonderful people in Ukraine who are having a really difficult time right now, as probably most of you know. But let's get into the fun. Let's start with our introductions for characters. Start us off, Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack Audio. Last campaign I played Grimgor Wolfbrother, half-ogre paladin. This time I'm playing Muradin Ironhammer, Mark of Warding Dwarf, level 3 Artificer, and a Royal Blue Blood, who's kind of a grump. He's the little red-haired guy down at the bottom with the goggles on his head.
Alrighty. And now we go to Zeta for your description of your character.
I am playing. Well, in the last campaign, I played Lachlan Airwood, a rogue, but in this campaign, I am playing Kel, a bard from the lower city, a changeling bard from the lower cities, who's had a few run-ins with a couple gangs. But I'm not sure how much else the DM wants me to say about that at the session zero.
We'll leave it there for now. Our wonderful, I believe they're both pretty much on the same step. We'll just go everything. Take us away.
Great. Hi, my name is Everything Audios, and I will be playing Tempest Evergreen. She is a wood elf sorcerer who genuinely thinks that the world revolves around her. She's the one with the long pink flowy hair and the pompous attitude.
By the way, the Changeling Bard is that second one with the loot, as you probably already figured out. And finally, Memento Audio, who is in the back with the nice kind of shiny armor.
Hello, I'm Memento. Last campaign, I actually played two characters. I played Clover, a Tabaxi Wizard, and Theo, a Wood Elf. I don't actually remember the character stats much. And I am now playing Nooks Evergreen. They are a twinned Tempest. They are a Wood Elf Warlock, and I'm really excited to play.
Oh, just don't forget the fact that Nooks is also a nerd.
Alrighty, those are our four students of UDA. Each of them is 18 years old, born in a prophesized destined moon, pretty much like every other adventurer who goes to UDA, although each of them has their own prophecy. But let's get into the campaign. Each of you wakes up at a different time in the morning. Our lovely Kel wakes up very, very early, having to make a almost 2-hour trek just to get to the school and not having the money for a sky coach if, well, any sky coaches ever came down to where he lived. Kel lives in Lower Dura, the slums of the slums of the city. And he is on his way up to the school, kept his having kept both his destiny and the fact that he's going to be going to UDA a secret from most of the population outside of his very close changeling community. But as they are making their way up, they hear on the news as the other three of you wake up to the news, maybe from a personal radio, maybe from the house radio. Welcome everyone to a wonderful mole morning. It is a great morning here in Sharn. The weather is lovely for those of you who can see it. I'm looking at you down there in Lower Dura. And we have a wonderful morning here today. And as all of you know, this will be the starting morning for all of those lovely UDA students. So if you're planning on going through any of the checkpoints, give yourself a little extra time, as those students are not known for exactly knowing where they're going. But it is very exciting because that means a new season for UDA, and all of y'all love when we get to watch their competitions and sports. Speaking of sports, I am sure that you all are looking forward to the match between the Griffin and the Gargoyle coming up soon. It'll be happening this toll. Oh, I'm looking forward to it myself. I've got a lot of money on that Gargoyle. I know the Griffin is the crowd favorite, but that Gargoyle can rip some riders to pieces. All right. Well, besides that, we have some local sports matches happening down in Lower Dura today, although I'm sure very few of you are going to be going and visiting that. But for those of you who are looking for a more fun and safe sporting match to visit, Upper Dura is going to be doing another sporting match. This one will be a practice match between the two local teams. That's all the news that we have for you this morning. On to the weather. And with that, most of you tune out. Most of you, even though you do care about the weather, do realize that, well, it's less important than getting yourselves to school. Speaking of which, moving on to the two twins. Nooks and Tempest both wake up in their shared bedroom and get ready as quickly as they can. Tempest takes more time than Nooks, as per usual, taking more time to get their hair and makeup all ready. Nooks spending the extra time reading a little bit, practicing. They're a bit nervous for their first day. Your parents send you off out the door with a wonderful and teary goodbye. They are looking forward to seeing you do your best at this wonderful college. When it comes to our wonderful, wonderful Muradin Ironhammer, the elite of the elite, you wake up hearing that news over your personal radio in your room and get dressed as you listen to the radio. You get on your nicer attire, and as you exit, your father gives you a curt nod, having talked to you the morning before about his expectations for you at this school. You are sent over to the Sky Coach because even though it's a very short distance, you want to get there as quickly as possible, which is why that you are the second person to get there, right behind Kel. Kel, you are walking in the front gates as you see a few other students coming around behind you and a Sky Coach descending. This will be maybe the second or third time you've ever seen an actual Sky Coach this close to you in person. And honestly, they're just as breathtaking as you remember them. These great big sky coaches. I'm bringing up an image now on screen of one, along with an image of the city of Sharn. These great big sky coaches are truly marvels of engineering, and the fact that they are wasted on such petty journeys as journeys throughout the city really does tick you off in more ways than one, but that might also be because they are far, far too expensive for you to ever be able to afford one. But for all the rest of you, Tempest and Nooks show up swiftly behind Muradin, both of you excited for your first day, only having to have made a 30-minute walk, which was fairly quick, and neither of you noticed, chatting to each other about what you expected and how excited you were. So, you all are at the gates of the school. Students are flooding in behind you, some second and third and fourth years, but most of them are first years like yourself. What do you do?
Very exciting. Well,
So,
proved it in his fairly closed off source, he's a noble, and also he has a couple of friends who won't be coming with him for the first day. So he just stays in his own lane, moves through the crowd, tries to avoid stepping on anyone's toes as he does, because he's wearing plate armor, it would probably hurt.
DM, I'm assuming me and Tempest are right next to each other.
As usual.
So I'm just gonna go over and kind of just nudge Tempest and be like, "You ready for this?"
Absolutely.
And I just kind of smile as I look over at them.
And Kel, what are you doing as you take in the beauty?
Uh, Kel's somewhere probably just off to the side. One fiddling about with his loot, and two just sort of appreciating the the higher parts of the city that he doesn't visit as often.
Yes. For the knowledge of the wonderful audience, the UDA campus is set in upper mid, which is that middle core of towers for the city. So it's in a very nice part of the city. But for the rest of y'all, the gates to the school finally open, allowing this stream of students to finally rush in, including the rest of y'all who are pushed along with the crowd. Um, you see the second and third and fourth years already had stepped to the side to allow the first years to stream in. You see in front of you a podium. Uh, you have entered into the main courtyard at the front of the school. This is what greets most people who visit the school. It has a wonderful statue and kind of a stage um, at the base of it. The statue depicts all three of the original adventurers in nicely crafted copper. Sorry, all four of the. Did I say three or four?
He said
He said
three.
three.
Sorry, all four of the original adventurers. I can't count anymore, apparently.
Oh well.
Nope, sorry, one of them is just, non existent anymore. So, for the rest of y'all, you see a great giant owl swoop from above and land on the stage. The stage is filled with quite a few teachers, and one mirror which shows a reflection into a classroom, uh, or at least that's what you figure. That shows a entity is the best way to describe it, but we'll get around to the teachers very soon. Uh, but this main owl that descends down very quickly transforms into a humanoid appearance. He keeps many of his owl features: a sharp face with a crooked nose, his hair a dark brown and short cut, much like his feathers upon his head. He wears a suit of a even darker brown, almost black, that
Hmm.
has that is a pinstripe suit. The pinstripes being a almost white, like the feathers upon his face and belly. He looks around at you all. He has a appraising look to all of you and goes, "Welcome, dear students, to UDA, the University for Destined Adventurers, once known as the University for Adventurers, now remade in the past few years, as you probably all know. Each of you are a wonderful, spectacular, destined person. Each of you has a destiny to do some great thing or dark thing, depending. Your destinies are yours to share. We will not force you to share them, but we do hope that you take pride in the fact that you are special and truly unique." He looks along the crowd and goes, "But I should probably introduce to you all your first assignment." At which point many of the students groan. They all expected the first day to be introductions and getting to know people, not immediately homework. The principal raises his hand and goes, "Do not worry. You all will not have to do any writing or papers. This is merely a test to see if you are truly worthy to join this school." And he motions behind him, and three great portals open up, each about 20 feet apart from each other. These portals each lead to a different test. You will have to complete all of them. Once you have, you will be gifted your keys to your rooms. Each of you will be bunked in rooms of 6. They have been pre-assigned, although this will change depending on who does and doesn't pass. don't worry. We have our wonderful teacher, and he points to a stouter dwarf-looking man, uh,
Hmm.
who with dressed almost similarly to Muradin, but in more humble clothing. And he points to the dwarf and goes, "We have our lovely teacher Ironbeard, who will be keeping everything in line and in check throughout all of this." And he turns back to all of you. "I hope that you are all excited. For I truly am. I could not be more overjoyed at the idea of watching each of you face your first trial and test of this school. Speaking of which, the trials will be three-part. The first one," he points to the leftmost portal. "This is a trial of ingenuity, of cunning, of charisma. You will walk through a ballroom, at which point you will have to figure out who the hostess is, and figure out the special word to get her to give you a token that will be your prize.
Hmm.
Next, we have a room of intelligence. Riddles and traps lay here, none the same as the other, and very much dangerous if you answer wrong. Answer these all correctly, and you will be awarded a second token, which will also be your prize. The third of which, and I am most looking forward to seeing you all do this one, is a wonderful little challenge of strength. A dungeon lies beyond this portal. Small, yes, and not the most dangerous that you will encounter even within this school, but it will test to see your ingenuity in combat and your strength of will. Defeat the final boss and you will be gifted your final token. You may do these in whatever order you wish, but you will be assigned your teams. Your teams will be made up of the people within your dorm. These will be the people you will be living with. Your teams are referenced on a board over there. You see a large board that kind of, you're pretty sure just appeared because you hadn't noticed it before, but honestly, after everything else, this isn't the thing that surprises you most. This board lists a bunch of different teams, each of them listed by team A, B, C, or D. He then goes, "Well, that is all the introduction I will give you. Sorry, there's one other thing. My name is Principal Hawkfeather. That is not my true name, but it is the closest that I can get within the common tongue. Uh, your vocal cords don't exactly allow for the speech that the owl ones do. I look forward to seeing you all succeed. Go forth and explore. You will introduce yourself to your teachers tomorrow. Do not worry about that. Once you are done, you are done for good. Oh, and one more thing. Just a little incentive. Whoever, whatever team completes this first shall gain a reward. I'll leave the reward as a special surprise for the team that completes their task first, but I would go quickly." And with that, he points to the sign, turns into an owl, and flies back up into the sky. Many of the other teachers make their way off of the stage and to classes. You're guessing that second, third, and fourth years are already sitting in the classes waiting for their teachers to get there. The mirror itself is wheeled out, um, although the person having to do that has a bit of trouble when it gets to the stairs. You hear a bit of swearing coming from that teacher. The only teacher who stays is the dwarf. He pulls up a chair and sits there, looks over all of you and goes, "Well, what are you waiting for?" And everyone runs to the board. A few try to run to the portals first, realize they don't have their teams yet, and run back. What do you all do?
Muradin will push through the crowd to see teams whose names will be joining him as a team.
Tempest is going to calmly but quickly, like full confidence, strut up to the board and see whoever's on her team.
Nooks follows suit with Tempest, a little less confidence, but still matching matching her pace.
Kel's just gonna normally walk up to the board.
All right. The four of you are all on the same team. Almost like someone planned it that way. Uh, the four of you are all on the same team. I should probably get back to the live screen. I don't need to show you all that image anymore. As nice as that image is. You are all on the same team. Your two other team members, one of which is a large Goliath named, named, well, you don't actually get his name. He's very quiet. Seems very nervous. The other one is a edgy looking. Any of you who have seen Draco Malfoy, think that, but with more eyeliner and a choker. Like we're talking edgy. But doesn't really bother any of y'all. I wrote
Hey, can
down.
we call the Warforged Vin Diesel? You know, like the Iron Giant?
Sorry, what?
just playing around.
First off, it's a Goliath, and nah. You may not call it Vin Diesel. What?
Oh, right, I thought it was a Warforged for a minute there.
No. Speaking of which, there are very few Warforged up here. Unfortunately, it's a truly sad, sad, sad thing. But none of you have the time to dote on that. I wrote down the guy's name somewhere for the edgy rival, and I misplaced it.
Let's
Oops.
just call him Draco for now. It
You know what?
fits.
Yeah.
Based on trying not to get sued by J.K. Rowling, we're gonna call him Draco.
That works.
Legally distinct Draco. Off-brand Draco. Um, so Draco and the unnamed Goliath, who seems to be very nervous, eventually find the rest of you as you all kind of find each other. This seems to be the part that takes the longest, as people are yelling out what team name they are trying to find each other. There's a lot of bumping into each other, as this seems to have been very badly organized. But the dwarf doesn't really even acknowledge this fact. Draco looks at the rest of y'all and goes, well, hope you're good enough. Alright, come on. Let's, well, which one are we going through first?
Let us start with the test of intelligence and ingenuity. It is where my strengths certainly lie the most.
Really? A dwarf that's head isn't made of stone? That's first. Alright, come on. And he starts walking towards the ingenuity and cunning test.
Grimgor kind of puffs his chest up a little. Huh, cheek of that elf. I'll see him straight. And follows after.
The Goliath follows after the rest of you. The one nice thing about having the Goliath, he's the tallest student around. And not only does it make it hard for y'all to lose your party, it also means the students kind of avoid him. So you kind of are getting a, parting the
Oh.
Red Sea moment as you're walking. So, the six of you all make your way to the portal and step through. All of a sudden, you are transported into what looks to be a labyrinth of sorts. This maze of different materials, some of which seem to shift as you look at them, uh, confuses you for a second before you kind of get your bearing. And you look forward. Before you is a passageway to the left and right. A sphinx sits in the middle and looks upon you. What do you do?
I say that we go directly to the Sphinx and speak with this. If it does not know which way to go, perhaps it will offer us a riddle or some other item that will be of use further down the line.
That's fair.
Sense.
All right.
Very well, let us proceed. Goliath, if possible, you could lift me up so I can speak to the Sphinx directly.
The Goliath gives you a little nod and hoists you up. The man makes you, in all of your armor, seem like a bag of potatoes. Just thump, thump, and you're now sitting piggyback on a Goliath.
Brings back memories of descent into Avernus.
Yeah, while that's happening, can I just take in the scene in front of me? Just kind of like, am I able to make an insight check on the scene in front of me? Just seeing if I notice anything that the rest of the party may not.
That would be a perception check, but yeah.
Percept, same thing. Okay. Hang on. Let me do math. That is 12.
All right. You don't notice anything outside of what the rest of the party seems to have noticed.
Alright.
All right.
Guess we'll go talk to the Sphinx.
The Sphinx looks upon you. Travelers far and wide, what do you wish to know of from me?
We have come to this place to receive the token at the end of the path. We understand there are traps and many ways to get there. What advice can you offer, or assistance?
Ah, is that the question that you truly wish to ask?
These traps and mazes are no doubt designed to test our ingenuity. I, for one, am confident that we can do so. I was not raised to simply ask for the solution. But if I know your kind, then you surely offer riddles, or at least some form of a nudge in the right direction.
You guess right. A riddle I shall offer you, and advice I shall give upon your completion of it. If you do not, you must stumble forward blind, like a child without their mother.
That is fair. What is your riddle?
I have a tail, a head, but no legs. I am probably with you now. Especially you, she says, looking at you, dwarf. You may take as much time as you need to answer. Draco goes, we can take about 5 minutes because we're winning that goddamn prize.
A tail, a head, no legs. Hmm.
Aren't you an artificer?
Yes, I am. A, a writer of steel and stone.
Hmm. It could be a tool of some sort.
Hmm. Yes.
Assuming the handle of the tool would be the tail. A
Hmm.
hammer, maybe?
A screwdriver.
Is that your answer?
No, I am contemplating to myself.
I mean, there's thousands of tools that fit the description.
Yes.
Thank you,
Is it
Cyril
a
Next,
hammer?
for following.
Oh, we got a follower. That's nice.
Can you repeat your question, Jack?
Is it a hammer?
Is that your answer?
It is my answer.
You only get one.
Then it is the answer I put forth.
Unfortunately wrong. The answer is a coin.
Ah,
Do not
clever,
worry.
sweet.
You may
Quite
continue.
clever.
Do not worry. You may continue on, but I cannot give you advice.
I thank you for the opportunity, nevertheless. Goliath, please place me back upon the ground. We will continue on our way.
The Goliath places you back down again, like a sack of potatoes. He could not care for how much you weigh. You have a left path and a right path. Which will you take?
Wait, DM. I know that this probably won't work, but is there any way I can ask my patron for advice on this? I don't know if they have more knowledge about this than I do.
Unfortunately, your patron. So you ask, and you hear a whisper from your sword. I know less than you on this matter.
Yeah, it's a talking sword. It's not much for mazes, I assume.
A shot. I mean, I don't know how much our patron knows.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Very well.
Well, I suppose we should take the left path.
That is my suggestion as well.
We could also just go both ways with the group.
But what if one of us ended up in peril? We would not be able to assist each other. For now, I suggest we take the left path as far as we can, and if it is a dead end, we will return and try the right.
All right.
All right.
You make your
That
way
works.
down the left path. Its winding, almost bone-like walls continue to go left and right for a solid minute before you finally enter another room. This one has another sphinx, but this one has a different head. Uh, Clearly not the same sphinx that you met.
Hmm. Again, I say we should see what it has to say. It may not offer a riddle, perhaps a trap or a trial by combat, but it should at least offer some information for a price. So Muradin walks up to the Sphinx and says, "Ho there, Sphinx. Are you, you prepared to part with information about this labyrinth?"
For the cost of a riddle guessed correctly, yes. I
Very
see
well,
that you met
then.
my sister, and that you either were told or guessed the right path.
It was a lucky guess. We failed the riddle,
Well,
though
then I
we
wish you
appreciate
more
the
luck with
opportunity.
this one. Are you ready?
Yes.
I am the beginning of the end, and the end of before.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The present.
The letter E.
What is your answer?
Wait,
The
me?
present moment.
Is that the answer you wish to put forth for the party?
The beginning of the end and the end of end of before, you said?
Yes.
The letter E.
Is that your
I
answer?
thought about it.
Well, I suppose we could try the letter E.
That is correct.
Yeah.
shall give
You
you
are
advice.
intelligent, elf.
Repeat that.
I shall give
Oh,
you
you go
this.
first.
The Sphinx looks at Jack and just goes, "Would you would you like to speak, or are you going to let me give advice?"
You may go first, Sphinx.
Uh-huh, that's what I thought. Sphinx looks back at the party. Your advice shall come in the form of a riddle on its own. To the left lies death, dismemberment, and pain. But to the right lies an end, but not the one you seek.
Well, thank you for that.
I'm feeling both are death.
No, I presume that it means the right is a dead end. The end of the path, but not the end we are looking for.
So in either cases, we should go left.
Yes. My thanks, elf. You are quite intelligent, it seems. That was to Tempest.
Thank you. Sorry, we're both elves. I got confused.
Ah,
Alright. Draco goes, "Wait, so we're going down the death and pain one?"
Yep.
Why are you scared?
We could sacrifice you to the other path.
Oh, no, 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 no. And he chants a little incantation, and a skeleton pops out of the ground, and he goes, "No, but we're sending this thing first."
well, I see no harm in letting us try. If you're truly scared, stay close to the Goliath. I'm sure he is more than capable of protecting you.
The Goliath gives a little thumbs up and a smile. Draco kind of goes, "Alright, you go down the left path, the skeleton leading the way. After about 30 seconds, you hear click as a skeleton steps on something that goes into the floor a bit. And all of a sudden, two great parts of the wall come smashing together, crushing the skeleton in an instant. And they part again after a second.
Well,
Your
don't stop
instincts were
there.
correct, it seems. We must analyze the area then. Be sure to see what other traps are in front of us.
Cool. I need whoever's at the head of the party to give me a check for traps. Sleight of hand roll.
Uh,
Okay. 21.
All right. You find three more traps as you go. One a tripwire trap, one a dart trap, and the other one seems to have something to do with a flaming skull, but you don't investigate much further. You make your way to what looks to be the final room, given the portal at the other end. I lost my die. Dang it. There are two portals on the other end. One is a glowing red, and one is a glowing green. On either side of them are two statues. They look to be warforged in build, but they're made of stone, not the usual material you see warforged made out of.
Uh, can I do an investigation check to see what kind of stone they're made of?
Granite.
Ah, okay. Doesn't seem like it'll be relevant, but just wanted to check.
uh, Kel is gonna walk up to the statues.
The statues turn to look at you and go. And one of them says, "My brother to the right always lies." The statue to the left goes, or the statue to the right goes, "My brother to the right always lies." One of us tells the truth, and one of us lies, they say both in unison.
Hmm.
That is the only truth we shall both tell you.
Okay. Muradin walks up to the statue on the left and puts his hand against its torso and says, "Statue, am I touching you at this moment?"
Both statues say in unison, "You get but one question to both figure out whether we are telling the truth and to figure out which portal to go into. Choose wisely."
Yes. Muradin forms his hand into a fist and very lightly punches the statue to the left. Did I punch you?
Is that the question you wish to ask?
Perhaps I shall amend this. Statues, did I punch you?
The statue to the right says, "You did not punch me, but you punched my brother."
And the statue to the left says,
"You punched my brother, not me."
Grimgor nods. I see. Well then, which of these statues is the correct path forward?
You got but one question, and you have already used it.
Damn it.
Hmm. What do you all think the odds are that they'd actively try to kill us during these tests?
Draco
I have
goes, "Did you see what happened to the skeleton?"
Fair.
We could always sacrifice one of the other party members. If y'all want.
I don't think that will be necessary. Can we do an perception check on the area?
Sure. Investigation, not perception, but
Yeah.
you can try that.
So,
Yeah.
wait, one second, my lucky 20. You said investigation, DM?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay.
20.
That is 19.
I got a 10.
Jack, what did you roll?
20.
You notice that the air around this second portal, the green one, seems to be a bit electrified.
Electrified.
Mm-hmm.
Curious. And we were looking for a token at the end of the maze.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out if it's just an ordinary token or if there'd be some kind of magic coming off it so we'd know what it was. Okay, I'm going to do a little thing here. Roll a couple of d6s, and whichever one gets higher, that will be my suggestion for which one we go through.
Oh, great. Literally blind luck.
Well, if we can't ask the statues for more clarification.
Ah, the test of cunning and intelligence. We'll see whichever one works out.
I mean, I'm just sharing my thoughts here. If one of the portals, if I can speak, looks electrified, that probably isn't a good sign for us. That's just my thought process.
Zeta, any thoughts?
Because last I checked, we're not immune to electric damage.
Zeta?
Hmm.
Did Zeta die?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. Don't think I have anything to add. Wait, was it one question as a group or one question individually for the
group.
start? Ah,
Uh,
There could have been a better way we could have formatted the question that would have got us both answers. God, look at me not being
I
able to
thought it
speak.
was like one question to determine who's lying, and one question to
Yeah,
no,
get
because I know this.
your
I
which
know,
one.
I know
No,
that
because I know
riddle in
this
real
riddle and it's
life.
only one
yeah. I
question.
mean, that riddle's been everywhere over Hollywood, basically. So I think it's all been a riddle that we've all seen. But like, yeah.
Look, it's a
But I
favorite
can
riddle of
never
mine.
remember
Give me a
the
bit of a
question.
break here.
Well,
Okay.
guessing is as good as anything.
Well, left was the
Not when
correct
death is
answer
on the
last
line.
time, so we could try going to the left again.
That would be
Would
the
it be
red
the same?
portal.
The
Oh, there's
non-electrified
different
one.
colors?
One's red, one's green.
And the green is electric. Well, I vote going through the red portal. What about you guys?
Yes, we'll just have to go with blind luck.
Yeah.
All right. Blind luck in the wonderfully, this is meant to test your intelligence one. All right. You step into the red portal and find yourself on the other side.
Do we have a coin?
You?
Oof.
You do have a coin in your hand. The dwarf sees you and goes, "Put your coin in the slot and then move your butt." There's a
Grimgor.
there's a slot kind of there's a little machine that has little things just big enough for the tokens, and it sorts them into different stacks depending on your team. You're clearly not the first ones to come out of the knowledge one. There's about 3 teams ahead of you.
Okay.
Alright, we'll move faster next time. Okay, Muradin steps up, puts the coin in the slot, and turns to the others. Now, which will we go into next? The
I
ballroom or the dungeon?
I vote we go into the ballroom. At least that one's my forte.
It would make sense to do the socializing Gale one before we get roughed up in the physical strength one.
That works.
Socializing was never my forte. Would that my friend Marcus was here, he would ace that test. Well,
See, I don't have to
well,
worry about socializing. I have a sibling who will talk their butts off.
You sure do. Let's go.
You both have a high charisma. What are you talking? Okay. For reference, one's playing a sorcerer and one's playing a warlock. They're literally both charisma casters. I don't know what they're talking about. All right.
well, personality-wise, one can still be shy.
Fair. All right. Tally ho! You make your way over to the wonderful ballroom portal. You step through and see a ballroom scene before you. If any of you have seen The Labyrinth, this is very reminiscent of that. There are masquerading players and a wonderful band striking up a tune. Your goal is to find who is twofold: to find who is running the party and to learn the secret passcode.
Ah,
Okay.
Find time to have +2 to charisma.
I want to kind of look around the ballroom really just intensely and try to figure out like I just want to see if I can get a feel for who's who here.
You
Okay.
mean an insight check?
Yeah, that would be an
I'd
insight
also
check.
I'd also like to just have a look around to see if there's anyone who looks like they know anything. Uh,
I hate my life. That's a 13.
8.
All right. No one seems to know more than y'all.
Okay.
Muradin will make his way over to a refreshment table, if any, to get a glass of wine or some such.
What
Ah,
does
my
the
lord.
ballroom look
Oh,
Sorry.
let me do the jack thing real quick. A servant stands there. Ah, my lord. 'Tis wonderful to see you. How can I give you a refreshment this day?
A glass of your finest wine, please. Pass my compliments along to the hostess of the party.
The hosts will definitely uh, enjoy that. He pours
Muradin
you a
nods.
thing of brandy and hands it to you.
Thank you. And he starts taking a real swig of it, just goop, 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 and places it right down on the table, empty. Doesn't break a sweat or anything. Dwarfs.
Yes, you drink just as well as the host.
Interesting. Goes, Muradin walks back over to the group. Keep an eye out for anyone who seems to be fond of drinking. I learned from the servant that our host for the evening is fond of the brandy.
Good.
Kel is
And
somewhat amazed because he hasn't seen this much food in one place before.
Oh my gosh, is Kel ignoring the trial and just eating?
uh, somewhat. Somewhat.
Oh my god. Kel is just sitting there ignoring the trial, just eating his heart out.
He's not completely ignoring it, but like he's not
mostly.
completely ignoring the trial. But
So all of y'all have lost Kel at this point. Everything. What were you gonna do?
I wanted to know what the ballroom looked like aesthetic wise, just to see if I can find anyone who matches it.
Roll investigation.
Cool. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? I hate you so much. You're going into dice jail. Give me 1 second. You said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's the hard
9.
one.
My dice hate me.
I could take an investigation check. My intelligence is +4 and I'm proficient in it.
It's up to you.
Alright, I'll give it a go.
May I also make an investigation check, DM?
21.
You notice that the party is mostly filled with different outfits. But you do notice that the curtains and the other fabrics do match the fabrics that you and your party are wearing.
Hmm. Have you noticed the decor? The fabrics of this place seem to match our clothes.
Elder
They do.
returns holding a little cupcake.
knowing that our clothes have changed, I have an idea, but I need a way to test it. So I'm going to bring like the group over for a bit and just okay, hear me out. I feel like they didn't change our clothes to match the decor for a reason. And okay, also really quickly, did you tell us everything about that encounter, Jack?
Yeah, this servant I drank and a brandy in one go. He said the host. He's fond of drinking.
Okay. Um it just this may be a crazy idea and I could be wrong, even though fuck that's insane. Um do you guys think that we're the hosts or one of us? Our
That
clothing has
would
changed to match the
match what
decor.
I have been told.
Oh, I could never own anything like this.
Kel, you're
You just
adorable.
see Nooks just start to like look down at the ground and get that sort of the fuck kind of moment because like they're already having being through like a lot just having to be at a party, not the fact that they could have been running it. No, no, no.
Hmm.
Tempest is going to walk up to someone who doesn't look like another student.
There are no other students.
Oh, great. Okay, so I'm just going to walk up to
Just
someone. It doesn't
anyone.
matter who. Just anyone.
My lady?
I'm so glad to see you here. Are you enjoying the party so far?
Quite.
I'm glad to hear that. And have you seen the hostess this evening?
Why, I just saw them recently.
Did you? I'm sure they were wearing the most fantastic gown.
Truly, it was amazing.
Do you happen to remember the specific color?
Hmm. I believe it was a white gown. It matches the curtains.
Ah, how marvelous. Thank you, and please do enjoy the refreshments.
Of course.
Cool. Gonna walk back over to the group. All right. So I found out something else. Jack, when you had your I'm sorry, I keep calling it Muradin. When you when you had your interaction with the servant, he said that you specifically said hostess when you talked to the servant. He corrected you and said host.
He said host, yes. And when I drank a glass in a single shot, he said that I drank as well as the host.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I just went over, had a lovely conversation, and someone said that we had a hostess instead, wearing a white gown that matched the curtains, which happens to be what I'm wearing currently.
Hmm.
Assuming Nooks is also wearing the same thing, so that doesn't prove much.
Nooks is wearing a unique outfit. All of you are.
Hmm.
Oh,
Was I correct in assuming that? I didn't want to, like, just.
Yes, you're wearing a white gown, same as the curtains.
Okay.
Alright, so we
Merlin
figured
walked
out who the
over
hosts
to
are.
a servant. Excuse me, good man. I believe the host of the party this night is looking for something. A token. Sentimental value, perhaps, or power, but is looking for it all the same. Could you send word to the kitchen and ask them to bring that token directly to the host of the party?
Why? The host can only have the token brought to you after the party has ended.
Muradin walks back over. grabs a glass and spoon and says, Goliath, please place me on your shoulders again.
The Goliath looks at you and kind of goes. The Goliath is very much overwhelmed by the whole party, and it just kind of picks you up onto the shoulders.
Muradin smashes the spoon against the glass. Attention, all of you! This is an announcement. The party is coming to a close. I thank you all for coming, but the night is falling fast, and I am sure all of you have homes to go to. Please file out of the ballroom in an orderly manner, where the servants will be there to give you your coats and bring you to your carriages. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
With that, the guests turn to you, bow, curtsy, and disappear. What's left is a single servant, the same one who has been serving you the entire time, which you hadn't noticed it was one person until just now. And he brings you a token and goes, Your portal, as a portal opens in the ballroom.
I think you and I will work very well together, milady Tempest.
Well, I am a woman of charisma. Let us continue.
I'll
So we
go
walk
back
through
to the
the
table
portal.
to get like another cupcake.
Nooks is darting it for the portal.
Everyone else running to the portal. Kel, one more cupcake.
And Nooks
He
is
lives-
probably gonna.
He lives
Nooks
in the
at
poor
this point-
areas.
Nooks at this
lives-
point, I'm willing to bet, is pushing people to get to the portal first. Because their social batteries are like 2% right now.
There's
They
no
are
one
not
else in
doing
the
well.
room anymore.
Everyone else is gone.
Still.
Nook, sweetie,
Hell is
slow down.
pure.
You're going to hurt yourself.
After he doesn't know when he's going to see that much food again, so you know.
Alright, that's fair. Alright, so you all burst out of the portal, and a team burst out of the combat portal right at the same time. You both are currently in the lead. You're literally tied, two tokens each.
Muradin walks right up to the portal token thing, places a token inside, and says, Come now, my friends. We have but one path left to
Oh,
take.
Draco is already pulling the team all the way into the portal. They're leaving you behind.
Muradin goes right after them. Boom, we're all in the dungeon.
All right. This is your standard dungeon. Almost stereotypically dungeon-esque. You wouldn't be surprised if this place was called Dungeon Dungeon or Evil Lair McDungeon. I mean, it's literally cobblestone like ceilings and floors. You've got the moss. It's a dungeon.
Are
So,
there skulls and reapers everywhere?
no, we're not talking edgy dungeon.
Oh, so it's a place that could still be used for storing stuff.
I guess. There is a door in front of you.
Knowing dungeons, that door may be trapped. Let us check to see what might be there.
Then I need a sleight of hand from someone.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Hell steps forward, and that is an 11.
You think you've disarmed any traps, but you didn't see any.
Okay.
Muradin looks at Draco. Could you conjure another skeleton? Have it walk through the door ahead of us.
I'm not gonna just conjure a bunch of skeletons just to be trap fodder.
What else could you use them for? To serve you breakfast?
That's a first level spell slot.
Well, if you'd rather walk through and risk your hide for the benefit of the
The
party,
Goliath
by
opens
all
the
means.
door.
All right, let's go through the door.
See? Not trapped. Briac! You hear as 4 goblins run at you from inside the room. Roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh.
That is
14.
a 6.
11.
Oh my god. Give me 5 seconds. 10.
Alright. Goblin.
I mean, they're goblins.
You all get to go first. They rolled a 1.
Wow.
So 14?
So Kel draws his rapier and just goes in for a regular slash on the nearest goblin. That is a 16 to hit.
Alright. You hit.
Okay. That is 5 damage.
Nice. The goblin is clutching his side. 11, I believe.
Hey, question. What kind of armor are they wearing?
Not much. Kind of just leather armor and a shield.
Oh, just wondering if any of it was metal, because...
If you have
I
heat
was
metal,
going
I'm
to-
gonna throw you out a window.
No, I was going to use shocking grasp, but I don't have heat metal. Also, I'm in Ireland. You're in Alaska. How are you going to throw me out the window?
I'll pay for a plane ticket. Alright.
Throw
Moving
me out
on.
a window instead. God.
Moving on. Yeah, just leather armor.
Right. No, because I was going to use a cantrip which gives advantage on the attack roll if it's made of metal. Because,
Very
well.
nice. But yeah, don't work.
well, okay. My guardian armor with its thunder gauntlets, which uses my intelligence for attack and damage rolls. Guess that's what I'm going with.
Alright.
17
That definitely hits.
for damage. Eight.
Are you hitting the wounded one or the not or a not wounded one?
The wounded one, I guess.
Alright, shocking grasp or your mace?
Oh, my thunder gauntlets.
Oh,
For
what?
my guardian.
Oh, I
Uh,
forgot you're an armorer. Alright. Yeah, you punch it and it doesn't have, you know, a head anymore.
Like, if anyone doesn't know, I'm an armorer, which means I'm a special Iron Man kind of armor suit with special gauntlets, which use my intelligence, as I said, for attack and damage rolls, and have thunder elements.
It's fun. So that's one dead goblin out of 3. I forget if it was a 6 or a 5 next. I think.
Yeah. I got a 10.
What, did you roll everything?
Okay, so it was a 10 next.
Yeah, then I got a 6, so.
Okay, D&D Beyond is messing up and not giving me like half of the spells that I have, but I know that I have this spell, so I'm gonna cast Arms of Hadar. How many of them are within 10 feet of me if I move up? Fantastic. Yep, gonna cast Arms of Hadar.
I know what that does.
Great AoE spell. It is a great AoE spell.
Basically, it says tendrils of dark energy erupt from you and batter all creatures within 10 feet of you.
Okay, but does that include us?
You can
Are
take
they-
an opportunity attack to not include them, but if you don't, it would include 2 of your party members.
Okay, I'm not gonna hit my party.
Okay, so let me roll your opportunity attack first.
Okay.
Does a 11 hit?
Does it hit me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. 3rd level sorcerers, everyone. That is 7 points of damage. Ouch.
Fantastic.
Okay, I'm sure I have some healing spells because.
So do I. So do I.
I don't.
Alright,
It's not Sorry.
Yeah, I have cure wounds. Don't worry.
Yeah, it says to make a strength save, but because it's not on D&D Beyond, I don't know what the save is.
Oh,
14.
Your strength score.
No, it's your... It's 8 plus proficiency modifier plus your casting modifier.
Okay, so 14.
Okay? Goblins have terrible strength, so they all fail.
Cool, so they take 5 points of damage.
Ouch. That's alright.
Yeah.
Cool. They're all battered around, none of them are happy, and they've all turned to you. Oh, we now get to have our Goliath go, because he had an 8.
Nice.
Alright, your Goliath's gonna take a swing. And miss.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, he has reckless attack.
Oh, good.
He hits.
Yes!
Nice.
With his great axe. Oh god, he... So remember how one of them didn't have a head anymore?
Yeah.
One of them doesn't have have a lower half anymore.
So he's half the man he used to be, huh?
God dang it. So, for the chat, I hate puns. So, they torture me. Alright. Yes, one of them is dead, cut in half. We now have, our lovely... Nooks, that's the name. Yes, Nooks.
How close are they to each other? The 2 goblins.
They are both within
Whoever's
10
there.
feet.
You know what? I'm gonna be a traditional warlock and cast Eldritch Blast with Repelling Blast.
Nice. We love Eldritch Blast.
Heck yeah. And that does 1d10 damage, so.
Nice.
Hang on. Do I roll for damage for this? I'm assuming?
Yep.
Okay. That is a 7.
You just go. You hold out your sword, which for the chat, the sword is a double-bladed scimitar. So it's, think Darth Maul's lightsaber, but with scimitars, because that's an elven weapon in Eberron. And so you point that at the goblin, and a beam of black, undulating, unlight just bursts from it and hits the goblin, and they kind of just scream as they fall to the ground dead.
Whew.
Alright, oh, and the goblins get to go now before your necromancer, because your necromancer is very, very bad at rolling initiative. And the goblin misses. A 2 does, a 6 does not hit you, I'm guessing everything.
No.
Yeah, no. But now we get our necromancer, who is gonna hit them with his staff. Yeah. He knocks one over the head and it just kind of falls forward. He looks very proud of himself.
So that's back to the top of the turn order.
That's every goblin is dead.
That's it.
Job well done, everyone.
2 of you killed one, and The Goliath and your Necromancer both killed one.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work. Alright, so there is 2 doors ahead of you, one to the left and one to the right. What do you do?
Oh god, not this again.
It's a dungeon, there's always branching paths.
Well, I vote we do what we did last time and go to the left.
Alright.
Can I check for traps by throwing a rock down one of the hallways?
Can I
I
quickly
was gonna
cast
ask you
healing?
to do that in the first test, but
Can I quickly cast healing word on Tempest?
Oh, yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
So 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. Let's help if I've had the right dice in hand. It is a 5. So almost all of the health you almost all of the health you lost.
Thank you.
Alright.
Before the stream, we were talking about whether or not Tempest could wear armor. I looked it up. She's not proficient, so she could wear it, but she'd gain disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving throws and such, and couldn't cast spells.
Yeah, not good for a sorcerer. Ah, yes, I'm gonna wear plate mail. I'm never gonna get hit, but I can't cast spells. Alright,
I'll be cheering you on.
so do you work your way down the hallway?
Can you answer my question about the rock thing?
Oh, yeah, you throw a rock, it doesn't do anything.
Cool.
Alright, I need everyone to make me a perception check.
Makes sense.
Perception.
16.
Alright.
Also 16.
you said perception, DM?
Yep.
23.
Nice.
10.
Alright. 23, you notice something wrong with the ceiling?
Ooh.
It's moving.
Oh.
Do you warn your
Moving.
party?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are able to grab Nooks right before a gray ooze falls on them,
Ooh.
keeping them from getting hit with the sneak attack. Everyone roll initiative once more.
Oh,
Great.
fun.
If I can find a d20.
16.
17.
15.
Ooh.
15.
14.
Alright, 17, you get to go first.
Okay, that's me. So, gray ooze. I've read about oozes. Are they resistant to magic or elements? Other
You
than
don't
just
know.
being. We're about to find out. Okay, I will use my shocking grasp cantrip on one of the oozes, the nearest one. Intelligence to hit. That's 13.
Alright. That hits.
And 1d6 damage. 8. Sorry, 1d8 damage. It's 8.
Nice, max damage. Alright, the ooze is not happy with you. It kind of undulates menacingly. 16?
That's you, Zeta.
Kel is just going to do a regular slash at the grey ooze with his rapier.
Alright.
Uh,
Sorry, I missed
11.
it. dice here.
All right. That hits.
Okay. 9.
Nice. You stab the ooze, and it undulates again before just kind of melting away. Your rapier unfortunately takes some damage from the acidic nature of the ooze
Ah.
and has a -1 until it is repaired.
Okay.
Swordsman, when this is done, provide your rapier to me. I am sure I can repair it.
Of course, of course.
I love using the word undulating. It's great. All right, moving on. Next. Well, I mean, you're still in the hallway, so you come up to a door.
All right.
Perception check to make sure it's not trapped.
That is a sleight of hand check, actually.
Okay, but yeah, after almost getting the drop on us, literally, I'd like to avoid any more surprises. 15.
You notice a dart trap that is attached to the door.
Ah,
You successfully disarm it.
nice. Open the door, go through.
All right. You come to an empty room. You're guessing it wasn't empty a minute ago as you hear the door shut as you enter. The door you hear shut is on the other end. It's a great big double door. It has inscriptions of dragons and kobolds on it.
Hmm. Dragons and kobolds. Can we make any, is there anything written there we can make out?
Nope.
Hmm. What kind of, anything else we notice about the wall? The
Nope.
area?
Nothing really. But as you are looking at the wall, you do fall into a pit trap.
Uh,
Yep, make me a dex save.
wait, can
Oh,
I cast, Featherfall at the party? I
Uh,
have that spell. Or at least on myself, because...
yes. So
Okay, I
you
cast
you gently
Featherfall.
glide down, and as you are gently gliding down, you look down and see snapping piranhas and alligators down at the bottom. And you very quickly want to stop gliding down. Would someone like to try and help Jack? Or are we going to let him become chaff?
I'm looking through my spells. Hold on.
I'm looking at my spells. I don't think they'll do anything.
You know, the worst part about this for Jack is he falls at 5 feet around. This pit is like 30 feet deep. He has to bear with this torture for 6 rounds.
Hmm. Well, at least I'm not falling directly into their mouths.
Oh, wait, duh. I cast Ray of Frost on the water.
Okay. Roll to hit? AKA roll to not hit your friend?
Sorry if this hurts you.
Well, my armor class is 18, so...
Great. That's just a d20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh no.
What happened?
I think that's a 15 if I did my math correctly. Yep, 15.
Yeah, my armor is 18, so.
Well, you were more rolling to hit the water. So,
I was rolling.
you hit the water and you cool it off immensely. Doesn't quite freeze, but it does cool off enough that the alligators and piranhas are not happy.
My bad.
Would mirror image do anything?
No?
I don't see what it could do.
I mean, I don't know. If it creates a duplicate of me, I could sacrifice that.
That's not how this works.
Okay, I have a few first level spells I can cast. Tasha's Caustic Brew, Thunderwave, Magic Missile, Catapult. Ooh. I don't think these are going to necessarily throw me out of the pit trap, but could they at least do some damage to the piranhas and the
I
alligators
want to
in the
remind you
area?
all, Jack is like 5 feet down at
DM,
this
would
point.
Hellish Rebuke do anything?
Nope.
I have 50 feet of rope. Can I just toss that down to him and be like,
So
Just
we were just doing like magic solutions when
50 feet of rope as well. I
I'm
have
pretty
50
sure I
feet of
do
rope as
too.
well. I couldn't look at my inventory because I'm dumb.
Hey, why do you have that much rope?
I was sitting here going, I wonder if they're ever going to think of just pulling him out. Like, their Goliath is tall enough that he could just reach down and grab him at the current moment.
oh.
Goliath, please pull me out.
The Goliath looks at you and goes, oh, okay. Grabs you. Thump. Thump.
We wasted spell slots on that.
It was a cantrip.
Well,
I had
no.
spells.
It prevented me from falling right into the path. It kept me aloft long enough for him to reach me. That was a spell slot well spent.
All of y'all were doing your magic show. The Goliath was just sitting here enjoying it.
To be honest, that's kind of a thing with NPCs. We sometimes forget they're
Forget they're there.
there because they're not being played by a party member.
How can you forget the
Hey,
Goliath and Draco?
Been for most of this session so far. So,
thank you, my tall, magnanimous friend. Might you give us your name?
He gives you a thumbs up.
I will accept that for now, on account of you saving my life. Did any of you see anything while I was in slow motion?
No, we were a bit busy trying to save your life.
Goliath
Thank you.
shakes his head.
What about you, Draco? You haven't been very useful this entire time. Have you seen anything?
A door?
Thank you.
so I'm assuming this, like, we're all standing near the edge of this pit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just take my double-ended sword, I'm just gonna call it because I don't want to try to pronounce the name, and just nudge him closer to it? For not pointing that door out to us in the first place.
No, you all saw the door.
We all saw the door.
We did?
Yes, it's the
Yes.
big double door.
Forgot about it.
I kind
I'm
of
sorry.
forgot about that because I was thinking about all the carvings. Okay, let's go through the double doors.
All right. Inside the double door, you see a great cavern with torches and wonderful mood lighting. Wonderful for a battle. Inside is 3 kobolds and their draconic master, a white dragon wormling. Roll for initiative, adventurers.
Best
You are Hard to 20.
Ooh, a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
10.
12.
13.
Right, I just gotta roll a few initiatives. Goliath is not going anytime soon. Draco's going last.
Again!
I promise Draco is actually good at this.
He's just, he's the rival.
So we have one natural 20. What's the one after that again?
I don't know, I'm 13.
I'm 10.
I'm 12.
Right, yeah.
So-
So it's natural 20, dragon, kobolds, everyone else.
Wait, they all rolled 20, or they only had to roll 120?
I rolled 20.
The dragon and its kobolds act on the same turn. They take the worst of their initiative modifiers.
Oh man. Okay. So what are they gonna do?
Nope, it's your nat 20 first. Bard?
First action, I'm going to use a bonus action to give bardic inspiration to Jack.
Cool.
That's good.
Then I'm going to go in with my rapier and attack one of the kobolds. Ooh, this dice is giving me lots of good luck. 23.
Alright.
I'm definitely going to use this dice more often.
Very nice.
That is. 6 for the damage.
Nice, nice. Alright. Yeah, yes. Oh, do you attack the kobold or the dragon, by the way?
The kobold.
Alright, so you hit one of the kobolds and they are resoundingly on the floor. Dead. One kobold down, 2 to go, and a dragon. Speaking of which, the 2 kobolds come after you who killed their friend. That hits. What's your AC?
13.
Alright, so 1 hit, 1 miss. Both are just throwing slings at you. For 3 points of damage.
Okay.
The white dragon wormling comes up to you all and exhales its cold breath. Everyone make me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
really?
gonna roll that one.
Really quickly,
Yeah?
you can use reactions whenever, right?
Whenever they're activated, yes.
20.
Okay.
Okay, I got
11.
23.
11.
You said Constitution saving?
I got 23 because I have 4 constitution and I'm proficient.
I would have passed it if it wasn't for my -1 modifier.
Hey, that's funny, because everyone who fails takes 23 points of damage.
I am
I got
down.
it. I got 23, but I want to activate my reaction and use absorb elements.
What does that do?
Let me read the description.
Can it save?
The spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect on you and storing it for your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering damage type, so cold damage, until the start of your next turn. Also, the first time you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the triggering type, so cold damage, and the spell ends.
Alright.
That is the reaction.
How many HP do you have, Zeta? Just wondering.
Total 9.
You're level 3!
Wait.
Are you still looking
Or
at your level
the
1
attack.
character?
That is a possibility.
Oh boy.
Look, I've heard of low health at level 3, but that's insane. Should at least have 10.
I mean, I'm just looking back at you with having only 24 HP, but... So so I know a hit like that would basically kill me.
No, it's the level 3 sheet.
What's your hit dice?
I think the thing I used might have messed up.
Yeah, I think it didn't add HP. You're
if
still gonna
you
be
look in-
down, but I don't think you're dead.
If you look in player resources in the Discord, there is a link to an HP calculator if you want to try to use that to calculate your actual HP.
So Zeta, while you're lying there unconscious, why don't you do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's right
I'll
under the
remind
clean
you when you need to roll death saves.
Okay.
Hey,
Speaking
I
of,
don't have,
everyone
because
anyone else unconscious, you either take 23 points if you failed, or you take half that if you succeeded, so 12.
So
Okay.
hang on, I have to do math.
Okay, so because I used absorb elements, it just says that it lessened the effect on me. I don't know if that means that I have that again or.
HP are we unconscious, DM? Because I'm now sitting at 12.
You don't drop unconscious until you hit 0.
Oh, okay.
You get resistance to the damaging type, so you take half damage.
Okay,
So if you succeeded, you take a quarter damage. If you failed, you take half.
I succeeded, so 6 points of damage.
Cool.
okay, 6 points of damage for me too.
I
Nice.
took 12 points damage. Wait. Yeah. Or,
Yeah, no, you took 12.
Okay.
Alright. I believe that gets us to Jack's turn.
Oh boy! So, there's a few things I could do here. I have a crossbow, I have some spells, I have thunder gauntlets. I think I'll leave the kobold for the other kobold for somebody else. Focus on the dragon now. So let me just check my spells real quick. Okay, are there any objects in the room weighing 1 to 5 pounds that are not being worn or carried?
Yeah, you have some in your pocket.
I ask only because that's the requisite thing for.
Oh, catapult. God.
What? Yeah.
The thing that can turn a rock into a deadly projectile. Let's go.
Okay. Muradin takes a spare piece of iron out of his pocket, and using his magic spells, casts catapult, launching it towards the dragon.
Alright, save or attack?
It says, if the object would strike a creature, that creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Um,
It fails.
Okay, that is 3d8, so I will this, and 3, 5, 6. So 14 points of damage.
Ouch, that kobold, or that wormling is not having a good day. I believe
Oh.
everything is next.
Yes. I'm gonna leave the kobolds alone. I'm going to go for the dragon. I want to cast Dissonant Whispers as a first level spell.
What does that do?
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which would be 14, by the way, DM. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
It fails.
Wow.
Great.
Dragon time.
Also, well, I'll wait and see what this does. That is 13 points of psychic damage.
Reminder, how much damage did you do, Muradin?
14.
That's a dead dragon like.
Nice.
Snap.
You just whisper something and all of a sudden you just see the dragon look around and then go, "Eh." Crunk.
Like, I know this is our very first session, but I really expected a dragon to be made of sterner stuff.
It's a wormling. This is a baby. This is literally like a week out of the egg.
That bad, huh? I don't know my dragon.
But yeah, with this, the kobolds run, because kobolds are not going to stick around after their master has died. They're smarter than that. And the dragon disintegrates into a token. And a portal opens behind it.
Muradin picks up the token, then motions to the rest of the party, and runs through.
Cool. You notice that the people you were neck and neck with are also just exiting their portal. I need a dexterity check to see if
All
you
of us
can
are-
beat them.
From everyone?
Whoever's gonna grab the token and run.
That would
Who's the
be
most
Jack,
dangerous?
I think. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
have
Jack-
a dex of...
Someone can grab it from Jack to run.
Who's the
Oh,
most
I have a
dangerous?
everyone
plus
make a
dex
dex
2.
throw.
I have a plus 2 for dex, so...
Keep
Should we
in
all just
mind
make
I'm
dex
down.
rolls and then just go from there?
One of you, only one of you gets to make the roll.
Okay, I'll make the roll, okay? Okay. Oh, 19.
Barely making it past them. You run, you bolt. The rest of you didn't know a dwarf could run that quickly, especially not one with plate mail. Just really, really pumping those legs, just going, and he shoves it into the little token dispenser, and you hear a fanfare as you have been the first to complete the trials.
Yeah.
Yay!
Go us.
At which point, the dwarf, who you finally realize has been sleeping, wakes up,
Wake up.
and he goes, "Ah, congratulations."
Thank
Okay,
you.
I now have 15 health total, rather than 9.
12. I would have had more, but I didn't get to go in the... I had rolled low enough initiative that I
I
couldn't
don't know what this
use
did
vampiric
wrong
touch.
to generate me to give me 9 in the first place. Okay.
I was gonna use vampiric touch and get some of my health back, but no.
So the
Maybe
dwarf,
there's
Oh,
a
I'm talking.
plant on hand you can torture.
so the dwarf looks at you and goes, "Oh, right, the prize." And he brings out a box and he hands it to y'all and goes, "You get the best rooms in the dorm."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In the box is a set of keys. They don't look super special, but it does seem to be one of the kind of top. The number suggests that it's at the top of the dormitory.
Ooh.
And he goes, "Well, I hope you all enjoyed the trials. Any of you die?"
No.
No.
Oh,
Nope.
good. It's a lot of paperwork, and I hate dealing with our cleric. Well,
Well, that won't be necessary. We'll
very glad.
probably go to our rooms now.
Oh yeah, feel free. Take the rest of the day, get to know each other, get settled into your rooms. Any luggage that your parents or family had sent for your rooms probably already be there. If not, it'll be there in just a minute.
Thank you.
Nice.
So, well, I know you'll all be taking at least one of my classes, but any of y'all taking the inventing class?
Muradin raises his hand.
Ah,
I
good.
have.
Look forward to seeing you in it. Uh,
Likewise.
the rest of y'all will see me when you're taking uh, Adventuring 101. Alright, come on. Get on. Go to your dorms.
All right.
Okay.
Cal heads
Yeah.
up.
Let's all
What's
head
up?
up to our dorms.
Alright. The dorm that you guys get does look a good bit bigger than the others and a lot more spacious. By the looks of it, the dorm setup has a common area that all the students can use. It has a kitchen with a few places where you can cook, along with a pretty nice, just common area. It's definitely not that special, but it's got some nice recreation stuff and some tables and such. It's suitable. Your dorms specifically, your dorms have a common area of its own, with
Wow.
a radio, along with it looks like it gets the newspaper every day. And each of you then gets your own private room.
Nice.
Well, maybe we could convert one room into a double room for the twins and use the spare room as a workshop or something.
These rooms are not big enough to convert into a double room. Have you been to a college
Yeah.
dorm?
No, actually, I did go to university, but it was close enough I didn't have to use housing.
Yeah, no, this is a magical college. They did not invest any magic into dorm rooms. Um,
And anyway,
Very well.
so yeah. So this is the first year dorms. It'll house you until you're sorted into your specific sub house, um, which probably will get explained for those of you who are still unknowledgeable about the college, especially you, changeling. All of that will get explained to you during your classes tomorrow. You're guessing Adventuring 101, which is your first class, will be mostly taken up with how the heck does this college work? Um, but you all do know at the very least that you won't get sorted into your houses until about halfway through the year. So for now, this is your dorm.
Ah.
Uh,
Wonderful.
as was foretold, each of you has your luggage in your separate private room.
Goody.
Your private room is fairly simple. It has a nicer than average bed with a desk, and uh, that's kind of about it. It's just kind of the desk and the bed. Any food
Is it
storage
at
would be
least a
done in
pool?
the dorm common area, and cooking is done in the common area.
Did they at least have, stools for us to sit at the desks?
Yes, yes, there is a chair for you for at the desk.
Good.
Tempest immediately goes to her room and begins decorating.
That makes sense.
And Nooks just kind of sits there on the bed, just taking everything in because after everything that they've been through, they just need like a breather.
Uh,
Muradin sets his tools out on the desk and returns to Kel. Master Elf, is it? Your sword, if you please. I would like to fix it now.
Of course. And Kel hands over his sword.
Thank you. It should take me no more than an hour to fix this. The damage seems minor. You will have it back within the day, at least.
Of course, just please be careful with it.
Of course. I have much experience with this. So he goes to his room and starts working on repairing the sword.
Cool. Yeah, that'll take
Kel,
about an hour.
Kel goes to his room, starts unpacking, but since he doesn't actually have much, doesn't take long. Then uh, g- then just sits on his bed and starts strumming out a tune on his lute. Uh,
Cool. Duraco goes into his room, shuts the door. That's about all you see of him. The Goliath goes into the room. You hear some banging and crashing as he's unpacking. He does not seem to be the most dexterous of fellows,
Who could have guessed that?
but eventually the Goliath returns back out into the hallway and goes and sits on the communal couch and turns on the radio.
Good.
So yeah, any of you who join the Goliath is listening to a local sports match between some local teams in the higher area.
Hmm.
I will say that at this point, Tempest, while she's still kind of setting up her room, has begun live streaming to her followers on on social media and is just telling all of them about the adventures that she's been through and like absolutely bragging that she killed a wormling.
By the way, the social media is nicknamed Beholder, as
Great.
in Eye of the Beholder. That's
Uh,
the proper name of the app is Eye of the Beholder, but it's nicknamed just Beholder. And for those of you who did not get the whole how social media and phones work in this, because the only one who cared was our social media freak. Um, for everyone else in this world, sending stones have been enchanted so they can play video and other such things. So they act as rudimentary smartphones almost.
yeah.
They're still fairly expensive, but the majority of middle to upper has one.
Hmm. So, are we done for the day, or is
Uh,
there
so
anything else we need to do while we're here?
that's the only thing you need to do for today, not as in session today, as in like
in game.
in-game day.
Okay.
Tempest is after like making sure her room has been like properly properly made. She's going to just go around, still live streaming, by the way, and explore the campus and just like show all of her followers and just be the preppy, annoying one.
Roll me a investigation check to make sure you don't get lost.
Okay. Hold on.
How's
Well,
your
she. I don't know.
how's your intelligence modifier?
No. That's a 14.
Yeah, you get lost.
Okay, so as she's realizing she gets lost, she literally looks into the camera and is like, "Oh my god, guys, this campus is so big. I think I'm literally lost. Like, I'm gonna have to call for help. This is wild."
Oh my. Your help better not be Nooks.
Those
While she's doing that, DM, can I take out my pet corkscrew and just let it kind of just go on my shoulder and just
Yeah.
because I'm assuming. Okay,
No, your
so I do that.
owl's in your room.
Okay,
What about Loki?
that's a cactus. That's a different story. That's a cactus. That's the plant.
What the? Okay.
I
Yeah.
have a Nooks has a cactus named Loki. I do not
I
know why I
forgot
came up with
this.
that, but I did it.
I forgot. All right.
Sent you the twins' backstory with it like an hour before game time.
I was prepping the game. Oh my god.
Like I said, Nooks is a special kind of nerd.
Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna be taking a small break for about 10 minutes. After the break, we'll get to the next day and go on to the next wonderful little thing that the party has to do. But we're gonna take a break for about 10 minutes and then we'll be back. And then we'll stream for about another hour.
Yay.
Wow.
Alrighty, we'll be back soon. Hello everyone, and we are back.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
so I missed this because we were gone, but someone donated $20 to CNC for Ukraine.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so
Thank you.
great.
Thank you so much.
much.
I would shout out your name and thank you, but they donated anonymously, so just to whoever did that, thank you very much. Again, if you do have the spare money, that would be lovely. I will be donating some of my own soon, but um, I literally planned on doing it before the stream, but then I woke up late. So, if you got any spare money, I would love if you could do that just because, um,
Yeah, it's a pretty horrible situation over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to be happy while playing D&D, and the whole situation has me really pissed off. So we're gonna leave it at really shitty things are happening over there, being done to the Ukraine people, and this money will help them out, and I'm very thankful to anyone who donates, especially the person who just donated. So thank you. All right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, so I don't get mad and annoyed, let's get back into some D&D.
Because that does make you mad and annoyed, just for different reasons.
Yes, but that's a good mad and annoyed because my players are goddamn idiots. Uh,
I will hit you with this fork. I have a
all
fork
right.
right now, and I will hit.
But you're in Florida and they're in Alaska. How are you going to do
You're
that?
forgetting they're gonna
Amazing
come
throwing
visit.
skills.
No,
They're
yeah,
gonna
just
come
amazing
visit
throwing
soon.
skills.
A
All
nat
right.
20.
So, the day goes by, and the next day you are awoken to None of you who aren't reading the. So anyone who just read the chat just saw Evil Doc Pity say "fork you." That is the worst pun ever.
Where'd it go?
That is the worst. No. Oh my god. All right.
That is the
Ugh.
best. Nope. That is the best thing to happen in this session.
Oh my god. All right. So going into the wonderful next day, you are all woken up to the radio playing. It's playing another sports match. Any of you who wake up see that it is the Goliath. He has it up pretty loud, but not to like waking up the entire building loud, but any of you who woke up noticed it.
So, DM, is there a window in this dormitory thing?
Yeah, there's a window in the main common in there's a window in your common room that it faces out past the radio. It overlooks the campus.
So,
Glass window or just an
Uh,
ordinary window?
just an ordinary window.
so is there any chance I could open it up and just let my pet owl out? Because they've been cramped in a cage this whole
Yeah,
time.
no problem. Your owl can go out and about. The campus
Uh-huh.
itself is usually pretty safe, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Plus, the air circulation is not argued by any of the other people in the dorm.
I just want
Not
to point
even
out
the
that
owl headmaster.
I just want to point out that Kel loves his window because it's usually dark down in the lowers.
Oh yeah, this is the first time you
Yeah,
were waking up to sunrise.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Like, if anyone doesn't know, Upper Dura, which is, the best part of Dura, that's middle class suburbia, basically.
Lower
But the
Dura
rest of Dura it's a crap hole.
Lower Dura is literally the slum of the slums, and um it's infested with gangs, it's over policed to heck, even though the police don't do anything. Um it's just a wonderful little place. And it
That's where it
literally
hurts.
is so far down into the towers that no light gets through.
Hmm.
That must be quite a strain on the eyes, then.
Well, there's light, but not sunlight.
Oh,
Artificial light.
A lot of neon glow.
nice.
So, um, yeah. So you all wake up to a wonderful morning, a good sunrise, and uh, you all wake up just in time to get dressed, get ready, and get to your first class.
Oh boy.
Luckily,
Exciting times.
there's a map in the main common room for all the students in the dorm to use, so you
Good.
won't get lost again. That plus most of the students are heading to the same class. Most of the first years take the same uh, opening class, and the other two, the their first three classes are all the same. They're just in different orders. But you four but all the people in your uh, immediate dorm, so the six of you, all of the same first class, which is Intro to Adventuring.
Ooh.
You enter into one of the lecture halls. This one is outfitted with a wonderful array of gadgets, gizmos, and other such things, along with diagrams of creatures and dragons and battle plans, all these sorts of things. And sitting at the main desk, um, where he seems to keep most of his important books and such when he's not actively teaching, is Ironbeard.
The sleepy dwarf.
He's not sleepy anymore. You're guessing he just had to work a lot yesterday. He seems pretty alert now.
Good to know.
Ah, glad to see the six of you made it on time. How are you enjoying your dorm?
Oh, that's
Like,
wonderful. It's amazing.
of course, I have lived in at very wealthy accommodations, so it is not as much of a shock for me. I can't speak for the rest of them.
That's one of the wonders of not having a lot of money. You get to enjoy when the few times you do. Probably one of the
Mm.
only nice parts of it, to be honest.
Ah,
And he gets a look of just grimace, and then he shakes his head and goes, "But get to seats."
Tempest immediately finds her way to the front, like two rows of the of the hall, and like sits up very proudly with a little glittering notebook with like arcane sigils on it and just perfectly placed pencils.
Nooks probably
Muradin,
sits mid, I guess. Is there like if it's like rows mid somewhere? Not in the
Uh,
very back, but not in the very front either.
cool.
Muradin
Uh,
looks around appraisingly at the gizmos and charts, nods approvingly, takes a desk near the front, and sets a few tools on his desk before opening a very simple but well kept notebook with 3 pencils and a black pen.
Kel sort of waits to see what everyone else is doing first, and then goes to goes somewhere in the corner, just sit down somewhere in the corner, and pulls out an old tattered notebook.
Uh, cool. The Goliath sits somewhere in the back, not seemingly because he doesn't like attention, but because he's so tall that when he sits in front of someone, it's hard for them to see.
It's like, hey, buddy, could you move a little? Yeah, could you move a little more? Maybe just get out of the way
Uh,
entirely, please.
Yeah, so he's sitting near the back, which does not stop him from being able to easily be seen. Um, in the corner, you are joined by Draco, who looks at you and goes, ugh, and then sits down. Eventually, some other students file in. A few friends that some of you know file in, and eventually the room is pretty much full. Not Muradin, Ironbeard looks at all of you after it's pretty much filled up and goes, all right, looks like about everyone. My name is Ironbeard. I'm one of the teachers who teaches here. I'm also the main adventuring teacher. I also teach most of the artificer classes. It's wonderful to see all of you. I hope that you all enjoyed your first day. Any waits for a response?
Yeah.
Burden
Yep.
smiles and nods, opening his notebook with his family's house seal on the front.
Great to hear. Now, today's first lesson will mostly be me teaching you about some of the other basics of the college. You'll meet your other teachers in time. Most of them are kind people. Well, pretty much all of them, if I'm going to be honest. I'm friends with most at this point. Any of us are here if you ever need to talk about anything or are worried about something. Want to get that right up front. Next, the school is a bit different from others that you may have done so far, and it's definitely different from other colleges. This is an adventuring college. We teach you to go out, slay dragons, and become heroes. But, even on top of that, we're a college for adventurers who have a destiny. Each of you has your own prophecy. For example, your group of 4. You're an interesting one. You mind if I use yours as an example?
By all means.
Yes.
Twins, you okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So, the twins here, along with their 2 friends, were all born on the same day at about the same time. The prophecy goes something along the lines of someone born on yada yada day under some special moon, yada yada, all the basic prophecy stuff. They're supposed to save Sharn from some big calamity. They're not the only ones here who are supposed to do that, so you 4 don't get too big of britches. But the one unique thing is, they're one of very few people around here who don't know which one of them is the prophesized adventurer. Don't worry. Uh, they'll figure out eventually. Hopefully. Some of the students laugh at this. Thank you. Now, for the rest of you, you all should know your prophecies. If you don't, what the heck are you doing? I mean, you prophesized, you should know it by now. But if you really don't, you can come see me after class and I can get them to you. I know most of them by heart. And I know all of yours. But with this, we're training you to fulfill your own destiny. Each of the classes here are around fulfilling destinies, doing adventures, saving the world, dooming the world, or trying to be a better whatever you are. because we got everything here from warlocks to clerics, rogues to barbarians. So, I expect you all to excel. Just try not to get eaten while you're here. Paying for a cleric to revive you is expensive. And we can only do it for so much. Alright? If you get your body torn in half and we can't find the other half, you're shit out of luck.
Reminds me of our last campaign.
So, that's the basics. Besides that, you're probably wondering about the houses. Some of you already know, some of you don't. The school is actually older than UDA itself. It was originally known as the Adventuring Academy. Nowadays, it's the University for Destined Adventurers. It was rebranded this about 5 years ago. You'll learn more about this in your history class. The important part is the houses are still the same from back then, and they're still led by the same house leader. Each of these houses represents one reason for adventuring, a goal. First one is power. Wish to be stronger. You wish to be able to overpower your opponents and save the day. It's a fairly simple one. We get a lot of people who get that. Next one is wealth. You wish to have enough money that you can do good with the world in it, or sometimes bad. Again, we get villains in this school as well. Next, you have philanthropy or self-sacrifice. It goes by a few names. This, you don't care about anyone but others. You don't care about yourself. You're here for everyone else. Alright? Lastly, we have knowledge. We get a lot of wizards in that one, as you can probably guess. That one's about trying to learn the secrets of the universe so you can make it better, or again, sometimes worse. I really do implore you to try to be better, though, because I like living in this world. Well, besides that, we have, besides just knowing what the houses are, you're probably going to want to know when you get into them and which one you're going to get into. I can't tell you the second part. You'll learn that about halfway through the year when you're assigned to your house. Each house head talks to each other and divvies up the students amongst themselves, depending on which ones they think deserve to be in their house. Don't worry, just because you're in the powerhouse doesn't mean you can't have a taste for the finer things. Just because you're in the knowledge house can't mean that you're not a raging strong barbarian. Alright? People are usually more than one thing. This is more just a way so we can separate y'all out for competitions. Speaking of which, the houses will be doing competitions at the end of each year. You'll learn more about that when you actually join a house. Now, that was a lot of talking about things that are not intro to adventuring. So let's get into that. At which point you start going into the actual main lecture of intro to adventuring.
Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Scribble, scribble, scribble. You take down your notes. You do all that sort of thing. Basic student stuff. At the end of the class, he turns to you and goes, "One last thing before I let you guys go. Bell's about to ring. I just want you all to know about the tests that are coming up. Every third way through the year, so this will be happening 3 times a year, you're going to be taking a test. There's a written portion and then there's an adventuring portion. The adventuring portion counts for 75% of the grade, the written portion counts for 25%. Both are important. They'll be done based on what your classes are and what you've been learning. So if you just took a whole semester learning about werewolves, you better be bringing silvered weapons to the adventuring test. Alright? But you'll learn more about those when we get closer. You don't got one of those for a while, don't worry about it. Now, move on. You got your next class to get to.
Goody.
All right.
Let's go.
Alright. So, the next class you all have is Prophecy 101. This is taught by an interesting creature. You enter the classroom and instantly, all of you need to make me a wisdom save.
Hey.
Great.
Oh.
Great.
Is this a Daggeth? Or,
That is a
something
9.
mythos?
Four.
That is a 9.
So 9-4.
You said wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
17.
All right.
9?
Cool. Everyone but your 17 goes temporarily insane. You all walk into the room and see a Cthulhu-esque monster coming out of a portal in the room. This thing is terrifying. It's also very large. It takes up most of the back of the room just from, this part of its body. You're also not sure what part of the body you're looking at, to be honest, because it's a mass of tentacles and mouths and eyes and other
Okay.
things. You're not having a great time looking at it. Eventually, you're able to calm yourself, thanks partially, in fact, that the entity seems to be trying to calm you. And you see, as you enter, every other student who enters going through this.
Tempest makes a point to stare it down.
Muradin pulled his goggle.
A few of its
Just
eyes,
looking directly at us.
fair, a few of its eyes meet your gaze. It's
Man,
disconcerting. Even though you passed
they're
the
getting
wisdom
all the
save,
lucky
it's
rolls tonight.
still somewhat disconcerting.
Hmm.
All right, you all file in. This is another lecture hall, although this one is very oddly arranged. It's about as oddly arranged as the creature in front of you.
What are all the tentacles shaped like chair? Sorry, all the chairs shaped like tentacles? They laid out in a weird way.
No, but all the furniture's warped in a weird
Ah.
way. Um, so when you're sitting, you might be leaning to the left, and your desk is leaning to the right. Gravity also is a bit weird. You notice a few students sitting on the ceiling.
Ooh.
Everything's just not quite right here. Um, some of you at some point think you notice a exact copy of you out of the corner of your eye. It's fun.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
Just to fuck with the other people, can I cast Mirror Image, GM?
Why would you want to?
Sure.
Wait, I will do so.
You fuck with a few of the students. Oh my god. I'm so glad we don't have a cleric of Trickster Domain. Alright, so uh this creature introduces itself as but
Okay,
you can call me Rob.
okay, can we have something that we don't need a bucket full of phlegm in our throat to pronounce properly?
Robe.
Rob.
I'm not even gonna try to say that.
Robe.
I will be your prophecy professor. And I am very pleased to get to introduce myself to all of you. I have been working at this school for about 1,000 years, and I am very pleased to introduce you all to the history of the prophecies that have brought you here. At this point, one last thing. I am also the teacher for most warlock and aberration magic. So if you are one of those, you'll see me a good bit more.
Boy,
And
I wish
I'm
you
gonna
were
stop doing
people
that
here.
voice for a bit. Not because it hurts, but because it's legitimately hard to keep going. That is not the easiest voice to do. Um,
I never would have guessed.
but yeah, so you all enjoy a fairly weird but simple class of starting on the origins of the Book of Prophecies that all your prophecies come from, along with just some basics on prophecies in general, how to fulfill them. This is the first class. You're not getting into really that much.
Yeah.
And eventually, the bell rings 4 times. You're not sure which one came first. It's a bit warped in your mind. And you are excused to go to your next class.
Alrighty.
Let's go.
Okay.
The third class and the final class that you all have together is History of Eberron. You all enter to see a slumbering wyvern on a pile of gold and items.
Is that a armless bipedal dragon with 2 heads?
Harmless is an interesting word to use with a wyvern.
No, I said armless, as in no forelegs.
Yes, it is armless. Its forelegs are its wings, and it has one head and a poisonous barbed tail.
Yeah.
I was just like, harmless. Ah, yes, the dragon that has a poison that can kill you.
Oh no, I'm sure it means us no harm.
I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna throw you. Ah,
Where
this
by the
this
end
en-
of this, I'll be the only person who hasn't been thrown out a window.
this entire stream is just becoming
Quite
how many
literal threat.
puns can we make? All right, so moving on. The dragon doesn't wake up. Eventually, one of the students just kind of looks around and goes, "Are are we supposed to wake him up?"
If you want to try, be my guest.
I mean, I can cast prestidigitation to make like a really loud noise.
Do you want to be incinerated?
No,
Then I would
but
advise against that.
The Goliath gets up and walks down to the wyvern and just kind of picks up the wyvern's head and shakes it a little. The wyvern
Oh
wakes
my
up,
god!
not happy about this, and looks
Please
at.
don't kill the Goliath. I've gotten kind of attached to him.
Honestly, same.
The wyvern looks at the Goliath and goes, "What in the bleeding hells are you doing?" And the Goliath just gives him a thumbs up.
Aww.
Aww.
This wouldn't happen to be based on a certain character I played last time, would it?
No. Um, the wyvern looks at him and goes, "Oh, sit down. Oh god, it's that time. Alright, hello everyone. I am Rauktus, the great and mighty wyvern. You can all bow
Sorry
now.
for disturbing your nap.
Hey, napping is a sport amongst dragons.
Hmm. Vernon just finds a seat and decides to open his book again.
Alright, my name is Rauktus. I am a wyvern, as you can probably see. I was not always a wyvern. Polymorph spell gone wrong, but I like it this way. So, we're sticking with it. He uses his barbed tail to start drawing on the board. You notice the barbed tail actually has a bit of chalk on the barb. And he starts describing some of the history of Eberron as he goes. Uh, do get a basic rundown of some of the recent history, but you suspect you'll be going into more depth as you go on. And that is pretty much the entire class. Honestly, for being a wyvern, he teaches a very boring class.
Boring but practical.
That's fair. And now you all move on to your speciality classes.
Ah.
I'm going to just do a quick run through of what class that is and who's teaching it. So, uh, our wonderful Nooks goes to Pacts 101, taught by Rolb. I just pronounced that wrong, and I'm the one who made the name. All right.
We're all gonna pronounce every single one of your names
Rolb.
wrong.
Yeah, that's a weird name. Um,
Oh.
uh, Tempest, you go to Magic 101, taught by an elderly looking wizard, far along in his wizarding journey. His beard almost touches the floor as he walks, and he gives a fairly very dry class on the basics of practical magic.
She very much, even though she's bored, she pretends to be like perky and awake, and like every time his head maybe turns towards her, she's just like, I'm here, I'm listening, I understand what you're saying, this is going so well.
Regular teacher's pet already.
Ah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Kel's class is Music 101, taught by um a large. Oh wait, no, wrong guy. Ugh, sorry, I'm tired. I was almost about to give you the fighter teacher, and that's the wrong one.
Ah.
No, this is taught by a elven bard,
Ah.
who rhymes the entire class.
Ah.
Rhymes on a dime.
No, legitimately rhymes the entire class. Anyone who asks him about it gets vague and differing answers as to why he's doing it.
Roses are
Mm.
red, violets are blue. Most poems rhyme. This one doesn't.
Uh, just for fun, Kel would probably join in the rhyming.
Very fun. He does enjoy having someone else rhyming with him. Um, and then finally, Ironbeard is teaching Muradin's class, which is invention and you. It's basics on inventing things. And your father actually gets brought up during the class because he is a lead inventor at the moment.
I think Muradin has a few mixed feelings about that, considering his home life at the moment.
Yep, I figured. All right. So, that will be the end of today's session. The second half was mainly just going to be introducing y'all to the classes and some of the teachers. But you guys can look forward because the next day, tomorrow, not tomorrow in real life, but tomorrow in the game, you will be trying out for clubs. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Let's just say it's going to go in a very interesting direction. And I can't wait. But it has been wonderful joining you all in playing this game. I'm really glad that any of you who are watching could join us. If you're watching live, thank you for joining us live. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching the VOD. Have a great day. See you around. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Hey.